Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Andrade, and I'm the Marketing Director here at DATAMYTE. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. If you're new to DATAMYTE, we are a global organization that's been in operation for 50 years, specializing in software and hardware solutions in production and quality management. This includes data collection, SBC, quality planning, residual torque, and gauge and tool management. In today's webinar, we will cover the connected factory transformation taking place in manufacturing while highlighting trends and new digital technologies. We'll do a 35-minute presentation given by Rick Bump, our president, as well as Ron Phipps, a regional sales manager here at DATAMYTE. Clay Honorud, our senior director of solution engineering, will also be on the line to answer your questions at the end of the webinar. Just a few housekeeping items. You are muted during this event. If you have specific questions, send them in at any time through the questions section of your GoToWebinar panel. Clay will try to answer all questions, but if he's not able to, a solution expert will reach out to you. We will also have a few polling questions, so watch for those. This webinar is recorded and you will receive a link to it afterwards. Our agenda for today includes an overview of the connected factory, trends, and 5 steps to work towards a connected factory. We'll look at solutions and technologies to align with Industry 4.0 goals that will help give you a competitive advantage. A brief summary, and then we'll open it up to questions. Now at this time, I would like to turn the presentation over to Rick Bump.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you to everybody who's joining us on the webinar today. Excuse me. As companies progress along their implementation of Industry 4.0 or the Industrial Internet of Things, the theme of a connected factory consistently emerges. Today, I'd like to dive a little deeper into this concept and present its many tangible benefits and solutions. So let's explore the connected factory a little bit. A connected factory is a manufacturing facility that uses digital technologies to allow seamless sharing of information between systems, sensors, machines, and people. Typically, the goal of the connected factory are, as you'd expect, associated with enabling connectivity. One of the objectives is to reach an ideal state of sustained productivity, self-correction, and improved quality. This can bring about measures that reduce costs, increase efficiencies, and improve profitability. A second objective is to empower workers with new digital tools, allowing them to have more control and visibility, enabling them to make improvements and impact productivity. What are some of the basic components of a connected factory? I mean, without getting into some of the more complex topics like AI or machine learning, but at a more basic level. One is a total reorganization of the approach to production, using existing tools and placing greater reliance on networks and open connectedness of everything on the network. This stems from the Industry 4.0 and the Industrial Internet of Things movements. Another goal is a more organizational, connected, and flexible model of organizing factory operations. This includes increased communication and improved reaction time. To be able to address issues, correct and improve quality, and incorporate a continuous improvement process. Leveraging concepts like edge computing to reduce latency and lag, as well as integrated flow of data to a shared reporting platform, are key to realizing the full potential of the connected factory. And lastly, new digital tools with cross-device functionality to empower your workers. Why are some of these themes important to operations managers in 2021? As companies work their way out of the challenges we've faced during the pandemic, business operation managers are key figures to help drive this recovery. And you'll, of course, be leaned upon to set objectives and initiatives to help your businesses run more efficiently. Also, staying ahead of top trends can help you realize your goals in coming years, not just coming out of the recovery. And lastly, leveraging the benefits of the connected factory can enable a stronger, more resilient, and more profitable manufacturing operation. From our research, we've identified 5 key steps that will help guide you towards a connected factory. Step 1, make your data available for decisions. This stems from data collection and data management and how we can obtain data from all of our data sources to be able to make better and more informed decisions. Step 2 is to expand the communications. As we have flatter organizations and require more collaboration across departments, everyone needs to be involved in the discussions. Step 3, digitize your processes. We'll touch on digital transformation and also the importance of moving away from paper-based processes to a digital or automated workflow. Bottom line is that your data needs to be in your systems and made available for the decisions. Step 4 is to harmonize business processes and objectives. This allows you to increase collaboration across organizational boundaries and define cross-departmental objectives. Step 5, collaboration with extended ecosystems. This is leveraging flexible manufacturing networks and integrated solutions that enable communication and integration with your enterprise systems as well as your customers and your suppliers and vendors. So let's look at these all a little more deeply. Step 1, making your data available for decisions. We realize that data collection and data management are, of course, challenging. It's important for a company to develop a strategy to manage their data from all of your data sources. This increases transparency within the organization. And the reporting that you're able to do from having access to all of your data can increase access to valuable insights, and it also enables data-driven decisions. As you can see from the graphic, pulling in data from all of your data sources, such as gauges, legacy data silos, third-party data, as well as other data collection systems and machines such as CMMs, PLCs, scales, temperature probes, vision systems, etc. Anything that collects data. You want to pull all that data and information together and harmonize it. Harmonizing it gives you a lot of power to make that data useful and accessible. And it's then ready to be reported on to give you further information into the organization. Because all of your data is important and it all matters as you're making these data-informed decisions. Continuing on with step 1, information is everywhere. And the volume of information is going to continue to grow. Gartner predicts that within the next 2 years, we'll see a dramatic 50% spike in enterprise data. And that's coming not only from within your organization, but also from outside of the data center. Therefore, you need a solid data management process in place. They also point out that we'll see a greater reliance on mobile devices as an integral part of the organization's infrastructure. So it's going to be coming from everywhere. According to Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. Data is powerful, and there's a need for a company to manage and protect your data as it's one of your most valuable resources. As we look at step 2, expanding communications, this will become even more crucial in 2021. Companies have flatter structures across departments, and here's where we really start to see the breaking down of walls of separation between the different areas. Everything is connected and talking to each other. There's visibility and accountability all the way down to the operator. And overall, sources indicate that this improved communication can really boost manufacturers' bottom line by 10% or more through better use of time, eliminating some of the non-value-added tasks, and being able to focus on priority issues. Communication is key to improving processes and to having increased efficiency and output. Another component of step 2 is the integration of new digital technologies. Smart mobile technologies to aid the factory workers is highlighted in Gartner's 2020 Hype Cycle, the manufacturing report that they put out. They identify the connected worker as a transformational trend that will start taking hold within the next 2 to 5 years. Workers, all the way through executive nowadays, really expect easy mobile access to information. As you look at hiring more and more millennials, they really demand this technology as they crave feedback and communication. And they really want and expect this technology will be a part of their job. This technology can elevate the employee experience through helping with retention as well as employee satisfaction. These tools can also empower the employees to do their jobs, from reduced training through empowering them to drive actions, improving quality, and looking for defects when they're actually encountered, and moving those up the organization to be resolved quickly rather than letting them hit the field. Step 3, digitize your process. Within this step, I want to touch briefly on the process of digital transformation that started 30 years ago when we began to computerize processes. It then led us into the use of digital channels, websites, and connecting companies to their customers. Nowadays, this has expanded to third-party platform technologies and solutions, including mobile, cloud, big data, analytics, and even social technologies. As a general definition, digital transformation is the integration of digital technology into all the areas of a business, which can result in changes in how businesses operate and how they deliver value to customers. It also has a cultural component. It requires the company to challenge the status quo, experiment, and get comfortable with failure. Some of the main components within a framework to drive digital transformation process include customer experience or operational agility. We saw a lot of companies transforming themselves during the pandemic, just trying to stay relevant and keep themselves in business. You saw things like leveraging digital technologies for curbside ordering pickup for food, or how the educational system quickly transitioned to digital platforms. While culture and leadership are important components to driving change, workforce enablement and digital technology integration also contribute to the transformation. New technologies are quick to emerge, and we will continue to see much innovation on the digital transformation front. In 2018, Gartner did an interesting survey with 205 operations managers. They asked them what are the most important manufacturing centric objectives for their company in the next 12 months. Not surprisingly, at the top, we see the very traditional yet very important goals of reducing costs and improving quality. But the third, fourth, and fifth ones that emerged from the study are digitization of production processes, understanding the benefits and opportunities of new technologies, and accelerating the implementation of new processes in or across sites. It's interesting to see these digital technologies are starting to emerge as some of the most important top objectives in manufacturing. So that poll was back in 2018. Melissa, let's get a quick look at the top objectives of the people on the phone today.
All right, so of the top 5 manufacturing objectives we saw, which 3 are the most important for your company? So you choose the top 3, give you a few seconds to vote. Give me another 10 seconds or so. Work on closing the poll, and I'll share the results.
Well, interesting. It seems like that kind of lines up with what it was back in 2018 as well. The top 2 are still reducing cost and improving quality. Anyway, thank you. Thank you all for your participation in that. Continuing to look at our digitization of processes. A component of this is eliminating paper-based processes. And from some of our webinars and surveys that we've done, we find about 26% of the companies are still utilizing paper checklists daily, and up to 50% of them use them occasionally. What are some of the downfalls? Well, checklists can create data silos, which impede the ability to report on and act on the data. In many cases, these completed checklists go into a binder and then into a file cabinet and then into a storage facility and sometimes even into a shredder. In the case of an audit or a product recall where you need access to the information quickly, this is a time-consuming effort and can really be a challenge and leads to real traceability issues, really kind of low data integrity process. That data also is easily corruptible and sometimes hard to track whether an operator is just truly going through the motions or if they are in fact accurately correcting the data, because sometimes that's hard to read and the pieces of paper can be destroyed. So moving away from less automated measurement and attribute data collection methods to a more standardized and automated digital workflow is important. It'll help you move into the right direction towards the Connected Factory initiative. Step 4 is harmonizing business processes and looking at your business differently. You want to drive the organization towards transformation and harmonization. This needs to occur in 3 levels: process harmonization, data harmonization, and relying on more on technology. As you know, with increased communications and technologies already enhanced, business areas can collaborate and set more detailed cross-departmental objectives and KPIs. This can really help, drive and orchestrated productivity. Step 5 is the seamless collaboration with your extended ecosystems. Continuing to build on improved networking and communications, extending into your related ecosystems, reaching outside of your supply chain and into your customers to enable a flexible manufacturing network. Using software and hardware solutions that are multi-purpose and have multi-functionality across work areas. You want to implement these solutions and easily integrate and communicate with each other in an open format. You want to make sure that you're integrating in with not just the quality management system, but also other systems like MES or ERP or any other system used in your manufacturing or organizational stack. This gives you complete visibility from the factory worker all the way to the C-suite. So I believe we all believe in the benefits of the connected factory and have a pretty good understanding of the approach for moving forward. The question is, what barriers do you see as you consider moving down this path?
Give you a few seconds more to vote. A couple more seconds and we'll close the poll and share the results. So we see a lack of budget or investment in technology is the highest rating barrier, followed by too many manual or paper processes that's just holding you back from moving forward on the digital front, followed by high effort to retrain existing workforce, lack of leadership, and lastly, timing. Thanks so much for voting. And at this time, I will pass the presentation over to Ron Phipps.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Rick, for that great overview of the Connected Factory and the steps needed to build towards the connectivity. As mentioned, I'm going to turn this presentation to look more at the solutions needed to support a Connected Factory and put into action some of those benefits. It starts with having an automated, complete data collection, which really can harmonize all of your data. You're going to have a shared reporting structure that allows for centralized reporting, integration abilities, and traceability. All of these solutions really need to communicate and integrate with one another. There's the leveraging of the mobile device platforms. Also having a transparent operational and executive reporting that enables an action-oriented closed loop process. And then cohesively, all of these things will work together really to promote that short-term and long-term cost savings. At DATAMYTE, our solutions follow a closed loop action-oriented process based on the Six Sigma process improvement. Starting at the top with the process and workflow. This is where you're going to define the comprehensive test or audit plan, as well as setting the specifications and tolerances in a process that you want to review. These are the critical elements for your process. Next, moving clockwise in the loop, you'll set out to collect that data and place it within a shared reporting structure for a complete view. This would be all of your measurement attribute observations, audible and visual data as well. And then we're going to organize that information so it's in a structured and comprehensive workflow. As we continue in this loop, next you're going to look at what you've collected and what does that data tell you? Also, this is where you can statistically analyze the entire data set and communicate and escalate on the findings and issues to your entire team. Here is where you're going to start to create and define your CAPA. Next, moving on, we would move into the analysis and reporting step. This is where we have the ability to provide the appropriate reporting, dashboarding, and that complete traceability of all your data. And then finally, we can close the loop with our feedback and improvement step. And this allows for that revalidation of the specifications, and then you adjust accordingly in your process. Now let's look a little more broadly at the functionality of DATAMYTE solutions. Right? In the center, here we see again, right, our process improvement loop. This is improve, plan, collect, and analyze of the data. But if we look off to the left side, this is where we're going to find your third-party data silos, CMMs, PLCs, gauges, and sensors. We're going to be gathering all of that data that's available through either a fixed station or a mobile data collection solution. All of that data sources will flow into your shared reporting structure. And now that we've got the data, we want to do something with it. So if we look over on the right side, we're going to see this is where we have our SPCs, the communication of alarms and notifications for feedback, as well as our quality planning studio and gauge tracking and calibration. Further, DATAMYTE also has the ability to integrate into systems like your MESs, your ERPs, SAP, and even Power BI, which allows for that additional advanced reporting functionality. I'd like to take a little bit and talk about our DataMetrics solution, as this is core to many of our solutions, reinforcing the benefits of that strong connectivity, integration, and complete data collection. As mentioned, DATAMYTE has 50 years of experience in this area of traditional SPC through the fixed data collection. We also easily integrate with Bluetooth and mobile devices, acquiring data from a variety of platforms, different data sources, and reporting methods and interfaces. DataMetrics is the tool that really allows you to pull all the data from all the different sources and then aggregate that data into a shared reporting structure where it then becomes available for your analysis. So this is a great slide. I want to show this real quick. This about our universal data collection capabilities. It shows you the power of this solution with the ability to pull data from all different data sources and devices, and how it's all harmonized into that data sharing reporting structure. So just a real quick overview just to show you that, yes, we do integrate and interface with literally anything that can pull data. This is a great visual slide about our universal data collection capabilities. Back onto Insight. And the analysis and reporting tool. This is a great solution supporting the communication and data-driven decisions that need to happen in your connected factory. Right? Insight here offers a whole range of reporting options that cover your SPC graphs, your charting and event monitoring, report templates and binders. You can create custom reports as well that deliver the, that hierarchical reporting for your organization. There's also the web report component that will allow you easy access to your data remotely. Our analysis and reporting provides you and your company with that complete cross-plant visibility. And you can further integrate, like mentioned, with other advanced reporting platforms such as your Power BIs. So here's just real quick some examples of some reporting within Insight. A couple of different options there. There's far greater reporting available, but this is just a real quick snapshot for you guys. And here are some additional examples of dashboards. We would work with your organization to create and design customized reporting, and really tailor them to your organization so you're getting that information that you need within your dashboards. Escalate is another software solution. It's an innovative solution that reinforces that importance of communication in a connected factory. It allows you to manage the closed loop process improvement, and it also provides for some very robust reporting. Escalate will allow you to track and configure an escalation's communication process. It allows you to customize your workflows on events that you wish to monitor. Your team is notified with an alert or notification when a nonconformity arises. If this alert is not addressed on a timely basis, then that communication would continue to elevate itself up your chain of command until it's properly addressed. Escalate will provide you with either an email or a text notification or both, depending how you set it up. And you'll have access to the reports, such as the ones on the right side of the screen. It also will provide further in-depth reporting on the nonconformities with some drill-down capabilities, and we'll take a look at that on the next slide. So here, the reporting shown can be used in your production or your inspection processes, and it provides that at-a-glance dashboard view in Escalate. It keeps you up to date on the most common issues that are causing failures in your process. This is completely customizable, allowing you to set triggers for the events that you want to escalate on. And very, very quickly, you can look at the dashboard. You can track basically what's working and what's not working. So as you can see in this report, the red areas, that is what we would say is not working. And your dark green areas, that is what is working in your process. And you'll also notice some light green areas, and this is where an escalation has taken place, or what was a prior red area, and that has been corrected or resolved, and then it turns to a light green to let you know that there was an escalation and it was answered and resolved. So this provides you, it's a great tool, and it provides you with that real-time dashboard information immediately. And not only does it provide the dashboard information that you see with a quick glance, but you can drill down multiple levels within each one of those cells to get additional information. So if you see here on the far right side, it provides you with line charts, summaries, campaign audit results, and you can also tie some images to that escalation as well. So looking over at the mobile device platforms, DATAMYTE is unique in our ability to integrate both the software and the hardware components into your overall production and quality management. The Revolution platform continues our 50-year history with data collectors. Actually, back in 1971, we launched the first portable data collector out into the manufacturing environment. And since that time, we've continued to innovate and fulfill the need in the marketplace for that, that high integrity, really ruggedized portable data collection. The Revolution, the latest model, is suited for measurement SPC variable data collection applications that require analysis tools. It's got superior gauging capabilities and connects to hundreds of wired and wireless gauges, many different types and brands, as well as an enhanced torque reading capabilities. Its user-friendly interface enables easy access to your inspection route setups. You can scan it from a barcode, QR codes, or even RFIDs, and it has a Google-like search capability, so you can really quickly narrow down and find your work inspections and plans and workflows. It also offers instant feedback to the user through alarms that will trigger for any out-of-spec readings or incorrect gauge usage. The Revolution is actually a data intelligence device because it allows you to revolutionize your workflows, and you can integrate the tools that we just talked, such as Escalate, and also digital Clipboard, which we're going to look at next. The digital clipboard platform, this is a powerful new tool that leverages cross-device functionality on the Revolution. It can also be deployed into Android tablets and Android phones. This allows you to eliminate your paper checklist processes and transform your data into digital automated workflows. The digital clipboard can be used across production and inspection processes, and actually, anywhere in an organization where you have a paper checklist that can be digitized. Some examples would include, but by no means limited to, your incoming inspection, receiving, production audits, inspection processes, LPAs, even in your shipping operations. And it also has the ability for incorporating gauging. So it's also that perfect tool for variable attribute data collection. Further, you can also take pictures with the device and annotate on them. So you can grab a photo, make some notes on it, and save that. There's signature boxes that can be incorporated, scanning barcodes. So it really provides a lot of traceability to the data that's been collected. It allows for that instant feedback for out-of-spec readings as well. So your operator will know really right on the spot if something is not right, and they would have that ability to take action for correction, or know that, hey, an escalation process has been triggered and will be captured farther down the line, so that whatever is out of spec will receive the proper attention it requires. So just to summarize what these mobile device platforms offer in building your connected factory, right? They really reinforce the connectivity. They have great flexibility to be implemented across a variety of applications. They're some of the greatest communication tools for the production floor, manufacturing floor. They provide that needed data integrity and traceability that's needed for the mobile data collection. They support instant feedback, through the alerts and notifications and escalations. The Revolution and the digital clipboard platforms, they promote that cross-department collaboration, right? And it empowers your operators with the vital tools to be successful at their jobs, to be more satisfied with their jobs and what they're doing. And they can take that active approach to catching and handling the defects quickly. So the last solution I'm going to touch on here is our Quality Planning Studio. This is a quality planning control tool to manage your APQP process. This includes your control plans, your process workflows, PFEMAs, as well as your PPAPs. QPS also covers your work instructions and part family management, and this can be deployed either on-premise in your environment or even in the cloud. The benefits of QPS and building a connected factory are the ability to provide consistency in your workflows and your planning and production processes. It also improves communication and efficiencies across departments. It has a bilateral communication and integration between the QPS and the DATAMYTE SPC. So it's allowing you to monitor and have insight as to what's happening on your production floor. For example, if there's things that need to be changed in your process, you could push those new specs into your control plan. And then those changes in your control plan can be pushed out to the production floor and even into your work instructions. So that communication is instantaneous. And this has been a great tool for some of our customers during this recent pandemic. It helps to mitigate the challenges of accessing the data remotely. It frees up valuable IT resources, and also sharing your data across multiple plants and departments becomes seamless. So to conclude, I'd like to summarize the top solution benefits that can help build your connected factory, and it will help you reduce costs and improve your productivity to remain competitive. Right? First, starting with the automated complete data collection that can harmonize all of your data. This resides in a shared reporting structure for centralized reporting, integration, and traceability. Also, key, having that transparent operational and executive reporting. This allows you to enable an action-oriented process. All solutions need to communicate and integrate with one another, so you can complete that closed loop process we talked about. The connected factory is going to leverage the use of mobile device platforms that'll give you real-time communications. And lastly, you want the ability to integrate with other enterprise systems so you can enhance your connected factory. That concludes the webinar. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We know your time is valuable, and we do appreciate you taking the time to learn more about the connected factory and how DATAMYTE is working with companies to align solutions and enable a digital transformation and connected factory goals. Thank you, and at this time, we will open it up for questions.
Thank you, Ron. We'll turn it over to Clay Honorud to, got a few questions that have come in that he can address those. If you do have questions, please go ahead and send those in at this time. Clay?
Yeah, one of the first questions that I see here is, can I use Escalate dashboard to monitor my production? Yeah, so yes, Escalate allows you to monitor your data collection occurring in real time, or at least near real time. The dashboard, will indicate both a successful collection of data, and as you saw from Ron's presentation, it'll highlight where you have issues, and then it will indicate if there were escalations and then the successful resolution of those escalations. And those are continuously updated. Typically, the view is a day at a time. It can be out looking, for the week or for the month. You can tailor that view to whatever fits your needs. And most importantly, it's something that you can get quick visibility as to what is happening within your organization in a very easy and intuitive way to approach that. The next question I see here is, we own several 600 data collectors and use Transcend. How can we continue to improve our connectivity in our plant? One of the things, especially with the work we're doing with Escalate and other products, is adding the ability to have the wireless connectivity on your 600 to be able to feed that data up on a more routine basis, especially when you have issues, so that you get this more real-time capability of getting feedback so that the problems can be addressed sooner rather than later. As we all know that there's a cost involved in waiting to resolve issues, so the sooner you can get that information uploaded and escalated, the quicker we get a resolution. And it fits well within what we're doing moving forward with our Revolutional platform, which supports both the traditional collection of torque and gauge data, but also the digital clipboard. And the idea being that as you collect information on that device, it's actually got almost a real-time update that allows information to be sent out and action taken on it immediately. So the 600 is fully supported going back, but as we move forward, the Revolution is the direction forward and allows for a more automatic upload of data. But definitely adding wireless is a great support. Another question here is, our company uses multi-page packet to do inspections on products. Can digital clipboard help streamline this? Yeah, the digital clipboard, it really fits well into that, because you can support having multiple workflows on that device, and it actually can be, as a writer going along the production process, allowing individuals to go in and fill out different pieces of that workflow as they need to complete it, including the inspections required and the data that needs to be collected are just be more of a procedural type item. It may be potentially some measurement or values that need to be entered. It could be simple as yes or no questions. The idea, as you go through different steps, either in producing a product or producing a vehicle or whatever it might be, you're able to continue to fill out that information so that when you get to the end of it, you'll have that completed information, and it's something that's stored. You can pull it back up for later reference. You've got a record of it being completed, and what the results were of that record, how much was completed, what was done. So you get a complete package with that. And then one of the questions somebody asked is, what do I need to be able to run Escalate? Escalate sits on top of SQL Server reporting services for the reporting part. There's also a internal website piece that allows you to fill in the responses, and that will then allow you to be able to aggregate the information coming in from whether it be the digital clipboard or from the fixed data collection stations or our Transcend product line. All of them feed into that system, allowing that near real-time view, our dashboard that allows you to see what's going on. And then at the same time, there's notifications and escalations going out that allow the user to be able to interact and respond to those, whether it be, determining if you need to take an action, whether it be a clean point or containment type of issue or something else. It really allows you to tailor what needs to be done in those escalations, capture those responses to the website, and get that immediate feedback, and ideally resolve that issue before it goes very far into the down the production line. Another question that came up is can we use digital clipboard for sensory inspection in food production? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can tailor a workflow to gather whatever information you require, whether it be sensory inspection for food production or any kind of procedural audit. You're really able to tailor the workflow to your needs to capture whatever details, whether it's simply a type of attribute type data where it's a yes/no question, or whether it be something more detailed or a measurement value that you need to check against. All that information can be tailored, and the nice thing about digital that whole workflow within digital clipboard is it allows you to tailor it based on what your needs are, so that you can customize it so that you're capturing exactly the information you want. And the whole point is you immediately have a record of that electronically for reference later on. You can make sure that you're checking to see if the checks have been completed. So you've got reporting that allows you to see the rate of completion. And then if you need to pull that information back up later or correlate it and analyze it, you've got those reporting capabilities tied to that. We've got some additional questions here. Let me just take a look quick. So I know there's a question about how you would be able to digitize documents that the FDA requires in real time for food preparation. Certainly, the idea there is that you're able to first of all create workflows that meet the FDA requirements for what you need to capture. And I think what's key with that, I mean, we're very familiar with the 21 CFR requirements and typical requirements of capturing that kind of data, and the need for signatures. So for example, in digital clipboard, you would have the ability to capture signatures and information regarding sign-offs. If you need to have a two-part sign-off where somebody collects the information, somebody else signs off that it was collected, that can all be captured within the digital clipboard, and having sign-offs on that information, allowing us to capture those kind of details. Also, in some cases, you need to have meeting information captured. That can be part of that workflow. And the key is you can pretty much, if you've got it on paper, you can build it into the digital clipboard. And the benefit is obviously no more paper. You've got it electronically. You can capture any signatures that you need with it. You can any approvals and that type of information you need to capture, and you have the record for bringing that back to the FDA. If at any point you have to do any kind of audit for verification, all that information is accessible and available for that check off against the FDA inspections. So there was a question related to more details on measurements can be taken in either wired or wireless instruments. What we support, and we support multiple ways. We've added in both support. We have built-in support on, for example, in our Revolution with microridge. We have support built in for a number of Bluetooth profiles, gauges that utilize Silvac. We can do it also on our fixed data collectors through either of those cases, either through microridge or through Bluetooth. It makes it pretty easy so that, and then we have the traditional wired connectors too, so that if you have an older style gauge that you don't have wireless in it yet, if there's what's a lot of times referred to an SPC port on it, you can plug the cable into that. It can go into our 924 box, which then feeds into the data collection, or it can plug right into our Revolution, which has a port there to connect to it. What that allows you to do is use those older gauges that had a port on it and take advantage of those without having to buy anything new. But if you're purchasing new, or even with those old ones, there's a variety of dongles that can be connected to remove the wires and be able to communicate via the wireless using the built-in microridge into our Revolution collector, or we have add-on boxes for our fixed data collection. So we have multiple ways to get in that wireless data. We're more than glad to have a discussion with you. Feel free to contact either our support or your sales representative, and we can certainly give you some ideas how we can handle the wireless connectivity. Another question that came in was, does digital clipboard support offline mode? And that's something that's true across all of our products. So we really do have support to be able to collect offline, so that if you're not connected to the network, you're able to collect data. That's something we pride ourselves in. We've had that support in our fixed data collectors for years. We have it in our 600, the Revolution. For digital clipboard, the same thing. The idea that you can pull your workflows down in digital clipboard, you can bring those down, you can go ahead and collect that data, and then once you have connectivity again, you can then submit up the workflows. So you're able to go off, collect data, not worry about whether you lose connectivity to the wireless. Maybe you're out of range, maybe you're out in the yard collecting information that's remote and away from any kind of wireless or wired connectivity. So typically, the majority of our applications have some kind of offline capability, so that you're able to keep working no matter the situation, as long as you've got obviously power through battery or connectivity. But if you lose connectivity on a network or have a bad LAN connection because you're going back to connection someplace else, we've always have had that caching capability, so you can keep working. See, let me look at a couple more here. So there's a question, basically says, today we collect data. What happens when the current system doesn't talk to the new proposed system? Will we have to change the current system, or will we have to have a patch? In actuality, what we typically do is we have been very good about being able to upgrade our systems so that we're able to pull everything forward. Our goal is never to leave any data stranded, to be able to upgrade our systems such that again, that's assuming you're using one of our prior systems. We upgrade, systems that are now, 20 or 30 years old, and people were using those systems back in the 90s, and they basically now with Windows 10s that they've had to make some changes and upgrade finally. We've been able to move those folks forward to be able to upgrade those systems and get them to our most current platforms. So we really try not to leave anybody behind. We still talk to a lot of our legacy collectors without any issues. Again, we're not supporting those from a new equipment for some of the older devices, but we still support them. We haven't done anything to disable them. We want to make sure that you can bring your stuff forward and transition to newer products as you have the opportunity to, or when it makes sense in your production environment or whatever your situation is, to make that migration happen. But again, we've worked very hard to be backwards compatible and make sure what you have invested in is still supported as much as possible. At some point, obviously, you may need to look at newer solutions, and we will work with you to find the best solution when that time comes.
Do you want to take one more question, Clay, and then come up with a plan to get back to other people who have a lot of questions come in?
Let me look at one, see if we can find one more here that we can answer quickly. So one of the questions we had is do you have any experience with medical device traceability applications? We certainly work with a number of medical device companies and have worked with them in regards to putting all the requirements necessary to get the correct approvals and then provide all the electronic traceability required as they go through the manufacturing process. I think the key there is we'd want to make sure. I mean, we got the 21 CFR support, and we've got our iLog product that captures any changes and tracks all those changes, allows for supporting the traceability of meaning and signatures. I think if you have specific requirements, certainly we can get somebody that can reach out to you and provide our first assess what you need, and then provide details of how we can fully support that. Again, I think we have that kind of support in place. It's just a question of what your specific needs are, and typically that's a conversation we can have with one of our sales reps. Can typically answer those and then pull in the technical folks that are required to answer your questions. So I think we'll end with that question. I know there's additional questions here that we will certainly get a response back to everybody, and we'll actually get a response out to each one of you individually. I know I answer these directly on a few of these, but we'll reach out to you with a written response and have a follow-up conversation with you in case there's more details that you require. And any folks out there that have additional questions, we're more than glad to address those and get feedback to you, and then reach out as needed to either provide you more details or any information you need on those offerings.
Great, thank you, Clay, for joining us and answering all the questions. And at this time, we'll like to conclude our webinar. Thank you, Rick and Ron, for your informative presentations as well. And we look forward to talking to you about your digital transformation goals. Discover if DATAMYTE can enhance the connectivity and communication to deliver a connected factory and move you in that direction. Please let us know how we can help, and thank you and have a great rest of the day. Bye all.